Welcome, everybody. Hello, my name's Karen Korch, and I'm with AAUW Illinois. I'm on the state board along with Ken Olson, who's here tonight. We are the public policy representatives for AAUW Illinois. And this program tonight is entitled Witness Slips and More. We're going to talk about the ilga.gov website where you can file witness slips and keep track of legislation and do lots of other neat things that we will be talking about tonight. Our presenter is going to be Emily Deacon Harmony. She's here somewhere. Maybe Elaine will spotlight her. She has 35 years experience at Illinois, what we call it, Legislative Information System. So that is when everything was on paper 35 years ago. And now to our current website. There was the old website, and now there's a new website. And so she is the web tech support manager now at Illinois Legislative Information System. So welcome, Emily.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a few years since we did this, so this was a nice surprise. And I have been here for quite a while. I was a baby when I started, and everything was on paper, and just evolved with the website and everything that we're able to do now. I am going to share my screen so that way I can just talk you through. Hopefully everybody can see that. I'm going to minimize this and make that a little bit bigger. I think they mentioned about possibly holding questions towards the end or using the chat. If I am talking about something and you really need me to start possibly or stop right there in that moment, just maybe use your words, or if just say put something in the chat, because I don't want to miss anybody. There's just a lot going on right now. The ilga.gov website is still the same for the address. However, the bill numbers you can search right up here at the top still. If there is a bill number that you're concerned about, just for an example, HB 2802, and if you hit enter, that brings up the bill status of your bill. So just to search on a bill, you just type it up there. Everything, if you scroll down, your headers right up here stay pinned. So if you need to type in another bill number, you can. This was about a STEAM project, and if students were in science, technology, engineering, art, or mathematics in school, but they went, out of town for a field trip for one of those topics, they get an excused absence. However, the sponsor amended it and said if you are FFA or 4-H on a field trip, then you get an excused absence. So the STEAM piece kind of went away and got overlaid with something else, which you guys are familiar with amendments and how they take over the bill. And then all of the floor actions are down here at the bottom. And then over here in the right-hand corner now, we have a little arrow, and that will just shoot you to the top of the page. Also on ilga.gov, I just want to show you a couple of things really quick. On the homepage, down at the bottom left is something that we called a widget or an accessory. If you click on that, these are ADA compliant accessories you can do for our website. So if I were to click on vision impaired profile, it accentuates the website. It makes the colors pop and you can see things. So if we go to Senate members, for example, the page takes a second. It crawls the page with whatever accessory you told it you want on our website. So you can set those, and that's under the circle to the bottom left of the website, just so you could see a little bit of difference on there. We do have, thankfully, your program tonight is in time before veto session. That's literally next Tuesday. And we do have some committees in the House. So if you came to our website and there was a House committee that you wanted to put a witness slip on, We have a couple ways to do that. If you go to House Schedules, here is where next Tuesday there will be the daily calendar for session. We're in on the 14th. The House Speaker will put out a bulletin. And down here underneath House Schedules, we don't have any committees today. But if you click on the Week tab, it says, okay, which committee do you want to put an opinion on? At this time, we don't have any bills in committee. I think it's just subject matter at this time. But for an example, if we were going into judiciary criminal law and we clicked on details, here it says, okay, we are going to be talking about wrongful home raids, warrants. Boy, I have picked a very strong subject. But this lets you know what your committee is about. And if you wanted to create a witness slip, just one, hypothetically, you click here on Create Witness Slip, and the information comes up just like it did before. You put in your name, your address, your city, state, and zip code. The only part we show is name, firm or business, and down here, your representation. So we technically don't show any of your personal information. It's strictly just to make sure you're not a hacker. So after you fill in all this information, and you could just represent yourself. You don't have to necessarily put a business or anything like that, but you can. And then down here under the position, if it is subject matter, you'll do your drop down, select the subject matter. You'll click the drop down arrow on add position, and you'll say you're for it, against it, or no position. So if I say I'm for this, you'll click add position. And that way it puts that information to the right-hand side. As we scroll down, the testimony, if you're going to be in committee and you want to talk, you'll click oral. If you are, maybe you emailed the staff or the committee or the legislative assistant some sort of statistic or brochure, you could check written statement filed. Or if you're going to be in Peoria and you can't make it to committee here in Springfield, you just say your record of appearance only. You would then agree to the terms. You would say, I'm not a robot. And when you click submit witness slip, it goes out to the website right away. And you'll have to click through the buses or the stop signs of the CAPTCHA text. And it goes right out to the website. So you're able to get that from House Schedules page. I'm going to leave without saving because we cannot delete witness slips. After you submit your opinion on a witness slip, we by law cannot delete it. So really know if you create your witness slip from the schedules page and you're not logged in, this is where you'll do this. Or if, let me see who else is in committee this week, revenue or executive. Let's go to revenue. If you go to House Committees, another way to get to this, we will scroll down in our House Committees and come down here to Revenue. And this is kind of nice also. If you click right on the Revenue heading, you get to see all your members that are on that Revenue Committee. So it's good just to see their faces. You might know their names. And that way, if you need to contact them, you can click on any one of their images and it will bring up their bio page. But at the top of this page is hearings. So whether you're on our schedules page or a committee page, same thing. This brings you right to the details. And then from here, you can either view the witness slips or create a witness slip and fill in your information. No problem. And view the witness slips. This is where you can see if anybody, okay, there's 6 people for the revenue. pieces, and this is what I mean. This is where you filled out the subject matter. Your name is over here on the left-hand side, the subject matter, what business or firm you're with, and who you're representing. And then over here under testimony, you can see some of the options I talked about. Oral, they want to talk, or they are going to be there to answer questions of your legislators. So record of appearance only, they will not be there, but they want you to know, like you would do, that you're for the bill. There are 9 opponents to the revenue. And even here, you can see someone did want to put in who they're representing. So it's not a required field. However, they have filed a written statement, or there's record of appearance only or oral, and you can see who the business is with, and then their names are right over here. So you can see all that. Or the no position. No position, we've got a couple. Okay, these are actually record of appearance only. Sometimes people will say they're no position because they are literally helping answer questions of the legislators, or they're going to have to regulate something and they just want to see which way it's going to go and what rules might change. So that information would be under no position. If you have a very lengthy list of people's names, or you're looking for your own name, you can always click here in this filter, and I'm going to click right there, and I'm going to type the name Sue because that's in the S's, so that would be way down in the alphabet. So if I type in Sue, it says, okay, here I am. I've got Sue Sykes, and she's with her own business. She has her own lobbying group, and this is who she's representing. So she is taking one of her groups that she represents, but she's got her name on it so that way they can see that she's put in a witness slip that they are for this revenue piece at this time. So that's how it would display once you submit your information. Let me just make sure there's no questions. Okay, same thing in the Senate. The Senate, if you hover over Senate and go to schedules, you come down here. We don't have any today, but if you click on week, we have one next week during session over pensions. And if we click details, it's going to be the similar steps with what it's about. It's actually about an actual bill, but right now we just don't have any legislation in the committee. Here soon, they will start putting things back out into committee on the calendar. And if it's posted to committee, those bills will show up down here, and then you can put a witness slip on the physical bill. It might not be something they're just talking about. And this is also, okay, pension. So it's same thing, Senate committees. If I scroll down here to our Senate committees to click on pensions, right on pensions, we have our images of our members. Click on hearings. It says, okay, it's right here. Also, what you can do within a committee, there is a previous button. You can click previous right here. Any previous committees of any committee that you click on will still live right here. And that way you can see all the different the details of those committees. So if I click on details from May 28th, it lets me know, okay, we had legislation that it was floor amendments, and you can click on the view witness slip, and then you can see who submitted witness slips on the previous committee, and you can also see who voted which way. So you're able to still see all that information. If it's a previous committee, you will have a certain vote. If it was on a bill, all that information is right here on that screen for you. So who was for it, who's against it, we didn't have any no position, and then the vote details. So that is also under the previous button of any committee. So I don't know if there's any specific committees you guys go to or really watch quite a bit, but you can, all you have to do is click on any committee name, and whether it's education, You could look at obviously all your members of your Senate Education Committee. We'll click on hearings. We don't have any education committees right now, but if you click previous, these are everything that we had previously. So you can go back at any time to look at any committee before today to see those, and you just click details and you scroll down and you can see the votes of the bills for every wasn't contentious. Here we have a party line, 8 to 5. These others were 14. So this one might have been a little more contentious. And then we could click on the piece of paper to see if there was witness slips. And there was just the one for Board of Higher Ed. And she was obviously talking. So those are just from just our homepage. If you're on our homepage, you just do the drop down, or right here in the middle of our screen, we have schedules, House and Senate schedules right there. So the button is right there on the homepage also. So there's like 4 different ways to get to everything on our website. It's just going to be a matter of preference for how you want to get there. Now, that is how you can fill out a witness slip if you're not registered on our website. So that is going to be the next thing I'm going to talk about is coming up here on our website. There's a login area at the top right of the screen. If we click up there, if you have not registered, your sign on is not going to be the same yet as it was compared to our previous website. You will have to log in and you'll have to click register. When you click register, it will say, I need an email address, and then you type a password twice, at least 8 characters, has to be alphanumeric, and it is case sensitive. So you'll need to type that in twice. I made that a little bit bigger. Hopefully it's easier to see. Your email, password twice, same, and you can click the little eyeball so that way you can see what you typed. Agree to the terms. Do I'm not a robot. Pick out all your stop signs and click register. We will email you a code. I think it's like 5 or 6 digits. And the next screen that will appear, you'll type in your email address and you'll type in the code. And then it will let you start to sign in within our login area. And then it will allow you to type in your email address you had for yourself, your new password, and you click log in. Once you are logged into our website, if you are going to be filling out witness slips, most importantly, scroll down. I need you to fill in all of this information. And I'm going to show you why in just a second. It asks for your name, your address, city, state, and zip code, just like the form that we just saw. It asks for your title. You can just put self. Ask who you're with. For me, I don't have a preference, House and Senate, because we help everybody. And I also don't submit witness slips. But you put in your telephone number. The fax is not required. The fax is slowly going away. And then representation, I have my staff. Weather location, we have south, central, and north. We're not real creative on this one, but if you want to see what your weather is going to be like after you log in, it's something fun and nice. So I'm obviously in Springfield, and then you click save after you've entered your information. And then here's my sunshine for the rest of the week. So that's kind of exciting, except for we do need rain. Okay, so now that we have all that filled in, I'm going to go into my witness slips up here at the right within your account. Okay, if I had witness slips, they would live right here. My Senate witness slips would live right here. If you wanted to see your House witness slips, they would live right here. But up here are 2 buttons, House and Senate schedules, just like what we saw on our homepage. But now we're logged in to my account. I'm going to click House hearing schedules. I'm going to click on week, It is the same menu as the home page. And I'm going to click on revenue and the details on revenue to the right. And we already know we're talking about property tax, but now since I'm logged in and I filled out my information, when I click create witness slip, all my information is filled in. You don't have to retype anything. Down here under representation, it's who you're representing. Your position and testimony is the only thing you have to fill out. You would still have to say, okay, yes, property taxes, no position or whatever your position is, click add position, and then say if you're talking, if you submitted your information by email, or you're just record of appearance only. And then you would submit your witness slip and it would go immediately out to the website. And what's nice about this, now I'm not doing this because it's permanent. It is Revenue Committee in the House. What is really nice about this, I'm going to leave the page. Once you fill out that witness slip, under my account, we go to my witness slips, under House witness slips. Once you submit your witness slip after you were logged in, it will live right here. And let's just say you did all your homework on Monday. You have a full week of witness slips you need to fill out. You signed in, you filled out your witness slips. On Tuesday, they started to amend your bills, and your committee is on Wednesday. You could come back in here, select your witness slip, change your position, and resubmit it. And then out on the website, it will overlay it. So that way you do have a chance to change your position or maybe even your testimony. If you were logged in when you created that witness slip, you're able to do that right here. I don't have any, but that is where your saved witness slip will live if you're signed in. So that is one of the benefits of registering on our account and to fill out your witness slip. But because we're in in our account right now, I'm in my account, I can see my legislation, my witness slip. Let's just say from here, you went out to the House and you went to schedules. Now that you're logged in, if you click on the schedules for the week and we go back into revenue and click on details, and I want to put in a witness slip, if I click on create witness slip, all my information is here. So as long as you go to your account and log in, no matter if you're from the homepage schedules or within my witness slips, if you're logged in, all your information will show when you submit a witness slip. You don't have to type it in as long as you're logged in. And it is 30 minutes before it logs you out. So if you do something on your computer within 30 minutes, you will literally always be logged in. But if you haven't touched your computer because you went to lunch, you got on a phone call for 30 minutes and it logged you out, or you go to your House schedules page to fill out the rest of your witness slips that you wanted to do, you click details and you click create witness slip and you notice all your information is in here, that's okay. You just go back in to log in. You say you're not a robot and you log in, and then you can either go to my witness slips here or go back to House schedules. We can click our details from our week tab, create witness slip, and now you're not typing. So I just wanted you to know with the new website, everything is tied in together. If I am logged in and make a mistake, can I go back and correct my witness slip? Yes, you can. Woohoo! Yes, as long as you are logged in. That's all you have to do. Yes, if you're logged in, you'll get an email saying you submitted it. And then under my witness slips, after you've submitted your witness slip, if you were logged in, it will live down here. You'll just click on it, you'll change your position, spelling of your name, spelling of your representation, whatever you need to fix. And then there will be a submit button. And then you submit it and it just overlays. Can you edit your personal information at a later date? If your email address changes, I have to get back to you on that one. At this moment in our life, we don't have a place where we can change our email address. Um, okay, that's not a true statement. Half and half. On my account, um, the email right here. I need to put in a bug for that. We don't have where you can change your email address. That's a great question. Um, you would still be able to sign in to your account, and you're right, there is not anywhere to change your email address. Okay, this is a really good presentation. I will write this down. Change email because no, at this moment there is not. You could create a new account with a new email address, and then you had to have two, which is cumbersome. Because honestly, if you leave your place of business, we won't ever know. Obviously, you wouldn't get your submit or your submitted witness slip. You would have to create a new one for right now. So at this moment, if you get a new email address, you will have to create a new login for this, but let me put in a bug and find out how we're going to handle that. Change email on account. Because we did used to have that in my legislation. That's a great question. Bug. Okay. Okay, good job. That's perfect. I hadn't even thought of that yet. So yes, we will get that fixed. Um, so yes, so the witness slips, once you're in your account, you can definitely overlay those. We will have to fix the email problem. And also, hypothetically, even if you have all this information filled out and you want to go and put in a witness slip for a different business or a different person that you're possibly representing, when we go into details, all of those, when I click on create witness slip, all of those fields you can edit. If I did want to do LIS support staff, you just highlight it and type over and type yourself, or not available, or you just don't want to show that you're representing anybody. You just want to have your name out there. You can do that too. It's still just a text box. We're just using the information that you added in your account to put into those fields so you don't have to retype everything. However, okay, here we go. Here's a caveat. Once your information fills out, if I wanted to use a different email address right here on the screen in order to get my witness slip that I'm submitting, because that's what the email address is for you to get your copy back to your email just to show that it was submitted. At least right here in that field, you would be able to type in a new email address. But your sign on your old email would just be literally a sign on into your account. But having to retype that every time is still tedious. So that is the workaround for now. If you get a new email address or you want the witness slip to go to a different email address. If one of our branch members has a strong opinion about something, be concerned. Member submit a witness slip if she has moved out. Oh, yes. You submit a slip no matter where you live, any time of day. You absolutely sit. Yeah, we have no idea where everybody's at when they submit these, to be honest. You don't have to live in Illinois. Good night. No, yeah, you can be retired because retirees are very strong-minded and they are loud. They don't have a filter anymore because they don't have to. So yes, we are excited with any new friends that want to say what they feel about what's going on in their state because everything's affecting everybody. So yes, you can definitely move out of state. We literally have no idea where you are when you're submitting these. So yes, day, night. I will tell you in the Senate on the day of committee, yes, I want to leave this page. The Senate schedules Let me go to the week. For this pension committee, next Wednesday, the Senate leaves their witness slips open for submission until midnight. They just say, go ahead, submit them all day. So if you talked on a bill in committee and they say, did you fill out a witness slip? And you said not yet, they will just ask you respectfully, fill one out when you leave here, just so it's part of public record. The House, this is marginal. They are supposed to turn off their witness slip submission right after committee. But I'm going to tell you what, Madison is juggling so much, it may be open for a little bit after committee gets done because they have to physically manually turn them off. It's just the difference of how they are, no big deal. So the Senate, you have all the way till midnight of the day of committee. Is there a two-factor authentication each time you log in? There, the captcha text when you log in, yes, yes, there is, and it is annoying, and I get it too. I am not special. Every once in a while, there is a time where I click log in and I don't get the stop signs. And other times I pick out stop signs, I pick out bicycles, I pick out buses. And it's like, okay, no hacker is going to take this time clicking on pictures. So yes, there is a two-factor on that. And I do apologize. It's just due to them trying to make sure it's secure. So yes, these are great questions. So yes, so once you sign in or once you log into your account, once you do get the code, all of that, you log into your account. Like I said, I want you to scroll down, fill out all that information because that will save you time later when you are filling out your witness slips. And then under my witness slips, whenever you start to create those, they will live here. Now, if you submitted witness slips, I created an account here and I do not have. Oh, well, bless your heart. Aren't you a doll? Yes, well, Shirley is the chosen one because she doesn't get it every time. Well, you know what, Shirley, don't say that too loud because that way you don't get it. So that is good to know. Good for you. That's exciting. So it must have accepted your cookies and they said she's not a worry. She's not a worry. Now, if you had witness slips on our website before July 1, under your witness slip dropdown, there is a migrate witness slips. And whatever your previous sign-in was to MyILGA on the old website, you will have to type that in if you remember all of that information. Some people are hit or miss, and then you click migrate. And it will take a little bit because there's a lot of witness slips to get through, but it will grab all of your previous witness slips before July 1, and it will bring them over. And I'm still getting the twirling whirly bird there. And I'm going to close this. No thanks. And you should get the migration, and then whatever witness slips you had will live right here. Okay. Is there a way to receive notification before a bill is scheduled to be voted on? Unfortunately, at this moment in our life, we are talking about updates. We are a free service, which means you are doing all the manual labor. That means you get no alert at all for anything. We have asked that and they are considering it. We have 4 servers, not a lot, but we do have 4 servers. And they were talking about the traffic that those emails may cause to let somebody know. However, with that being said, if you have a specific committee that you always watch, or most of your legislation goes into a specific committee, you can call the House Journal Room, ask for Madison, because she'll probably answer the phone. Madison's telephone number is 217-782-81 And that's Madison in House Journal, and her number is 217-782-8101. Or you can call Katrina in the Senate Journal room, and she is at 217-782-4517. Katrina Senate Journal, 217-782-4517. Let those ladies know which House and Senate committee you want your name and email address added to. Anytime they post a hearing, you will receive an email. And on that email, it will basically be the posting on our website. But that way you can just look through the committee and see if there's anything that you need to watch for. Or an amendment on a bill that you're tracking that is now in committee that you didn't expect to be amended. So you can definitely, anybody can ask that their email address be put on a committee. They will definitely do that for you. Bills usually get posted 6 days in advance. Amendments are 1 hour. Our budget bill was 3,400 pages. That's a lot to read in 1 hour. And people are kind of brutal on telling other people to read fast. So I just need you to know those hourly postings, and sometimes on the floor, when you're able to watch the video, you'll hear them say, I want to waive the posting notices. And that means they may take a bill straight to committee. They don't want to wait the 6 days. They just want to wait the 1 hour after the speech is set on the floor, and that will go in with amendments. So, but yes, if there's committees that you want to watch, Madison, yes, good job. Yes, that's exactly correct. Great job. So that way you guys can call and then in a year and a half, call them back for the 105th GA and let them know whatever committee that you might need to be added on whenever we start the new General Assembly. But next year, still in the 104th, you're just fine. Okay, so that is the migration. If ever you need to migrate your previous witness slips, I don't know that you'll need to, but if you do, you have that ability. Okay, the next area under my account is my legislation. And that's in the drop down of my legislation. And this is the piece where if you are tracking pieces of legislation, I'll be able to show you how to do that and then how to edit some of the information to put a comment on your bill so you know truly what is inside that bill. So, under my legislation, since we're signed in under my account, we have my legislation or my witness slips, and we already talked about my witness slips. We'll go to my legislation. The menu is on the right-hand side. If you were on our previous website with bill tracking, this is a similar menu of exactly what we had. And we're going to say add bills because I have a little bit of a list of bills to put in my file to let myself know what is in here. Okay, so I'm going to click on add bills. This add bills screen comes up and it says, what do you want to do? I am going to create a new file. I'm going to click in supply a name. For me, I'm going to type in hot bills list because these are hot bills to me that I'm watching all the time. And so I need my hot bill list at any moment. We're in the regular session. Underneath your legislation type, if you click in there, these are all the types of legislation you might need to keep track of. I am going to select House Bill. And then once you select your type, you click in the bill number box directly below there. And you type in your bill numbers separated by a comma or the plus sign, but don't do any spaces. And I'll do your 1424, 2802, 3163, 2568, and I think that's all I have right now. Um, Unauthorization, yes, we'll just do that for right now. Okay. Once you type in your bill numbers, I'll scroll down to the bottom and I'll click Save. A little prompt pops up and says you added 4 bills, nothing was duplicated, and no bills came up not found. And we'll say, okay. It still keeps me on the add bills list because you might want to add another type, which I do. I want to click on House Bill, go down to Senate Bill, and then click in my bill number box. And from here, I am going to add Senate Bill 27, 1295, 1983, and 2510. Just so I have these. And then I will come down to the bottom of the screen and click Save. And I added 4 more bills. Nothing duplicated, nothing not found. And I'll say OK. Now, instead of Senate bill, I will drop this down and I'm going to add a few resolutions. And if ever you have a sleeve of bills that are in consecutive order, you can use the number range instead of typing them in. I'm just going to do a small range of House resolutions that I want to add into my hot bills list. And I'll click Save. And it says, okay, you added 4 more. And we'll say, okay. Now, if we are all done adding bills, we're going to go out to Menu and click on View My Legislation. And View is where everything is going to live within your file. And I have my hot bills list. I can preview it, I can edit it, or I can delete it. And I would like to preview it. And this is where, instead of going out to the home page, typing these in each time, you can see all the bill numbers you're tracking. In between some of my bill numbers, I'll make this a little bit bigger. In between some of my bill numbers and my sponsor is a little B, a little H, or a little S. That lets you know those pieces of legislation have adopted amendments in the House, in the Senate, or both chambers. So these are little helpers in between your bill numbers. And then you have your sponsors, what your bills are about, the last date they were acted on, and where they're at now. We have bills signed by the governor. We have bills vetoed by the governor. Some are back in rules. I don't have anything in assignments. So this is just letting you see where everything is at. Some of my resolutions were adopted, some were not. So from here, if you click your options page, just to show you what this can do, down here, I want to create a synopsis report. I'm going to uncheck ILCS references because that gets really long and include comments. I don't want the one line. The synopsis report, I'm going to click submit. What this does, it lets you see basically your bill status of your bills in one report. So we have your 1424, your film credit, what it is about, and it's back in rules. House Bill 2568 started out as a treasurer's bill. It was the Illinois Trust Code. But then with all the amendments adopted, it became the Equality for Every Family Act. It was a Illinois Paternity Act bill. So if I just needed you guys to see how severely legislation can change, and when you run this report, you can see this is really a Paternity Act instead of the Treasurer's Trust Fund bill. And this was vetoed. Now, House Bill 2802, that is the one where it started out as STEAM, similar to your STEM bill, only STEAM has art where STEM does not. And this is where it became, if you were out of school for FFA or any 4-H programs, then you got an excused absence. Or there's reproductive health privacy. That's where you could just see where or what all that information is covering. and your child support bill. So if your child turns 18, but they're still in high school, child support needs to just be given until they actually graduate high school. So that's exciting. Um, 911, you've got your gifted and talented, education pieces, and then our budget bill. So this is just a way for you to see the information that your bills are about. So I'm just going to minimize this a little bit to pull these down. Okay. Um, so I'm going to close this report. And where's my report options? I'll close report options. Now that we have that bill made of the bills that you're tracking, if you wanted to add comments to your bill, we could go into edit. Edit is right here on the right-hand side. And it says, okay, what all do you need to do? First, I'm going to say this is a hot bill list of first year bills. I'm going to have a second year also, but for me, I'm just going to add a little extra name, a rename, and I will click save. And then it updates my file name right here on the screen. If we need to tell ourselves a little bit more about our bills, one, if you don't need a specific bill, you can click right here. If you don't need that Paternity Act, you could select the bill and click delete bills. And it deletes it out of your record, but I actually want to keep it, so I'm going to hit cancel. But it would take it out. Oh, sugar. That's a bug. It said cancel and it still deleted it. Okay, good training. Hang on, let me just write that down. Delete on cancel. Damn, that's a bad one. Okay, so, but here, if I wanted to tell myself on House Bill 2802 about the steam bill, I could click on this comment right here. And I need to tell myself that this is really FFA or 4H has excused absence from school. It's no longer about the science technology piece anymore. And then we'll hit close and we'll hit save and we'll say, okay. And right here, we have a little bit of writing on our piece of paper to let ourselves know, what our comment says. So that's good. You can see that right there. Something else we need to tell ourselves was Senate Bill 27. That was just saying that you get child support through graduation. Just so we know exactly what that bill's about, and we'll hit close. And House Bill, I did not add 2568. I think I deleted it. Okay, so we're going to click save on our screen and say okay. And from right here, if we go back up to menu and come down to view my legislation, and now we're going to preview our bill report again. Now you can see your comments directly below the bill you put them on. So that way you know that the steam is actually gone. We don't have that anymore. It's really FFA or 4H program that gets the excused absence from school. Or right here, the Child Support, Marriage Act, child support, what it does. It's saying you get child support through graduation, even if your child turned 18 before he graduated, or he or she graduates. You can still get child support up until graduation of high school year. So those are just ways for you guys to really let yourself know what your bills are about if they start to get amended. Now, something else I want to talk about, your House Bill 1424 has not moved since last March. And it's about your film tax credit, women in STEM. So if I click on House Bill 1424, I want to know if anybody took this introduced bill and put it as an amendment on another bill. So I would write down this chapter reference right here. Chapter 35, ILCS, which is Illinois Compiled Statutes, Act 16, Section 10. I would write that down because my bill hasn't moved for 6 months, 7 months. And I want to see if maybe they tacked it on somewhere else. Okay, I'm going to hit my back button. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to close my report that I just made for my hot bill list. And I'm back within view of my legislation. But now I'm going to go into build ILC query or ILCS query just so you guys can check to see if something else was introduced to make up for that bill. So under my query name, I'll just name it Chapter 35, Act 16, Section 10 asterisk. That gives me anything after 10. I'll put a Q at the end of it for query. Under the chapters, I am going to select Chapter 35 from which it was drafted, Act 16, which is the film production, and the section is 10, and I'll put an asterisk. I want 10.1, 10A, anything to make sure I get that, and click Save. Now, back under View, I can preview it right here. Okay, here is my House Bill 1424, my film tax women in STEM. I, at this time, do not see anything else that has that same exact short description. So I feel at this time, they have not reintroduced your bill or put it as an amendment somewhere else. The revenue bill, these were the revenues for the full state of Illinois. There's a chance it is hidden in there. But here you do have the credit of spending, film production credit, but not anything. We can check this one to see. We don't have anything with STEM under this, science, technology, engineering, and math. So at this time, this would be just a way for you to run that query. And if anything with the film tax credit comes up, it will populate in here if it's under the exact statute that your House Bill 1424 was drafted from. So that's just a way for you to check that information. Okay. So I will close that report. So anything you create in here, it will save under your view, my legislation. So everything will save right there. For an example, if we go to build query, I don't know if you guys ever have to check certain committees. The queries on here, if you select a committee, it's only going to give you any legislation in that committee at the moment you run it. So it's kind of hard at times to see if it's working. I know House Executive has literally one bill in it, and it's going to be the energy bill. It's Senate Bill 25. So if we are on Bill Query and we double click the committee over just to preview anything in a committee, we can preview it. We don't have to save it. I have a pop-up blocker. Come back down here, hit preview. So yeah, even though it says swimming facility, cold spa, Senate Amendment 2 that they want to adopt on this is actually the energy bill that they're going to be talking about over veto session and trying to save us money with all of our utilities and bills. So yeah, so that's all we have. So that in itself is deceiving. Because if we go to Senate Bill 25, it looks like it's about swimming facilities, cold spas, and Senate Amendment number 1 was adopted, and we see that on our screen. But if we go to full text and click on, I'm sorry, House Amendment 2, it is so big it can't show it. I'm going to click here. This is where it's the co-op, the Electric Utility Transparent Planning Act. I think transparent might be allowing a lot of luxury, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. So that's where it gets real hard to kind of track everything because they change um, the bills so much from the title compared to what they adopt or what they file on it. Okay, important stuff is in the House. Amendment 2. Yes, yes. So Senate Bill 25. So what we could do if we are in my legislation and you got your hot bills, if I go up here to our menu and I come down to add bills, another example, good point. Instead of new, I'm going to drop that down and choose my hot bill list. And I am going to add Senate Bill 25. And on this screen, I can say HAM 2 is new energy bill. HAM is House Amendment, not food. That way you know what is going on with that bill because it's talking about cold spas. That cold spa will give you energy, but not what they're talking about. So we'll click save. We'll say, okay, it added one. We'll come back out to view my legislation. And now we will preview again our hot bill list. And right here, Senate Bill 25, we've got our comment on there. So we can see that it's not really about a swimming facility. It's the energy bill. But that way you tell yourself exactly what's in the bill. And that way you have all that. Just tell me some. So, so I know this is a lot. It's a lot I've just given you in a very short time. Let me just make that bigger and let me take down my size just a smidge so this fits a little bit easier there. Um, do you guys have any questions or any more? Why do we allow amendments added to? Okay, that's fair. That's a good one. Okay, well, welcome to Illinois. Um, Fair question. Okay, Senate Bill, let's look. I'll show you exactly how they get away with this. Senate Bill 25 is swimming facility cold spa. If we click full text of the introduced bill, um, let me make my screen a little bit bigger again. The first line of every bill is what they call the bill title. And that swimming facility, that cold spa, it's concerning a regulation. Well, doing the energy for Illinois is also a regulation. So it will hold up in court. Your bill titles are so vague. You will have bill titles on education, local government, state government. That is a broad plethora of everything. You could have a kindergarten bill, that's school code. And then it turns into the truancy of the high school kids, which is still school code. I don't have a good answer for you. They find a bill that's halfway through the process, and as long as this bill title fits what they need, they can use it as a shell to just put their information in and go that much farther. So amendments come out a lot after your bill introduction deadline. Oh, you're on camera. You got to watch that. There you go. There you go. So, yes, that's okay. Kids not paying attention. So yes, so your bill titles are vague on purpose, and they are supposed to have one subject per bill, and because of that title, it it will hold. But you'll have a lot of argument on the other side of the aisle about how they do this. And after bill introduction deadline, amendments flood all of your legislation. And then they do have amendment deadlines, but when you get those postings from your journal room, you look up those bills and make sure they're still about what you thought they were. Um, okay, gosh, you guys have got great questions. If it is a committee amendment, it has to be by the primary sponsor. The primary sponsor has to introduce the committee amendment. When this bill gets out to second reading, that's when it will be floor amendments. Floor amendments do not need permission to be amended by the sponsor. You would hope they would be respectful enough to say, I'm going to file an amendment on your bill. Years ago, the gun bill had 27 amendments filed on it. Chicago has an idea of the gun bill. Southern Illinois, who likes to shoot Bambi, has a whole different perspective of the gun bill because they like all those toys and accessories to go on their guns. Chicago, not so much. So yes, committee amendments has to be the primary sponsor. Floor amendments, anybody can amend someone else's bill. They don't necessarily have to call the amendment, but they can file it on there. Yes. Yes, they can. And they just have to make sure it follows that bill title. So yeah. And that's why I just wanted to show you a couple examples. I think, what bill was it? Was it Senate Bill 1950? Uh, just lots of them have different, I think House Bill 850. House Bill 850 is a safety bill, and it started on as radon resistance, so that way nobody gets sick. Well, it really became the stolen gun and serial number issues for the state police bill. So yeah, it just switches them all up. So that's why you just get those postings from the ladies in the journal rooms. Get your name and email address and say, I want to be added to whichever committees. Or if you want to see all of them, they have a global committee list. They'll just add your name and put you on the global, and you'll get all good night, all those committees. Woo, there's lots of them. But yes, it is a lot. It's a lot to keep track of everything in my legislation here. But yes, if you create an account, once you create an account, you get the code, type that in, and then fill out your information down here. You can do your witness slips from here or go to your House and Senate schedules, or after you log in, you can even be on the home page. The audio video, like tomorrow, just for an example, tomorrow, what time is that? Is that at 11? Oh, it's not till 1. Okay. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, you guys could come to the House audio video page. And then you'll click on your virtual rooms and there will be that little live green bubble. That way you can see a Zoom of all the committees that you came to. Oh yeah, under your hot bill list, under my legislation, just like we did right there, if under here we have hot bills, but if you go back into under your menu after you have your hot bills list created, let's go to add bills. Instead of new, do your drop down, select your hot bills list that you've already created, and we could type in House Bill, not that you guys want this, but 850, and you can type the amendment saying stolen guns and serial number issues for state police, or whatever comment you want to put on a bill. If I could type, if you have a telephone number, you have to call somebody, or maybe there's a certain area of your community that would be affected if a bill passes or anything of that. You put whatever comment you want. You click save, you say, okay, we'll go back out to view my legislation. We'll click preview. And now I've got that House Bill 850 in there with my stolen guns and all that, so I can find that. Yes. And if you get a lot of bills in your file, if you are on your hot bill list and you've got 100 bills, which is not hard to come by at all, if you do Control F on your keyboard, Control F as in find brings up a small find toolbar up here. And if you type in energy, because you know you've got that in one of your comments, it will highlight the hot word that you just said or that you just typed in. So that way, even though this says swimming facility, you know you've got energy in your comment and you'll be able to find it, be like, hey, it's Senate Bill 25. It was Senate Bill 40, Ham 7. They already were up to like 7 or 8 amendments on Senate Bill 40. I don't know why they changed it to Senate Bill 25. I honestly cannot tell you that because Jay Hoffman is the member on this one, just like he was on Senate Bill 40. I don't know the reasoning on that one at all. So yeah, so this one is an executive. It's the only bill we literally have right now in committee, in a committee. We've got subject matters. Okay. Um, Can groups still send a link to take you to create a witness slip for specific bills? I feel you should be able to. Um, Let me close edit. Let me close this report. Let's go find out. Because I don't know. Week details. Create witness slip. I feel yes. Copy. Um, yes. Well, it's because I was signed in. Um, but yes, you can still go to your House or Senate schedules, go find your week tab. We'll go to details. If you click the create witness slip on that specific committee, highlight your URL up here at the top, do a copy, and then I feel if you go to your email, paste it and hit spacebar, and it does hyperlink it. So yes. I don't know who has the recording. One of your ladies will have the recording. Um, so yeah, so you can still very specifically with a bill pre-listed for you. Okay, I misread your comment. Um, that's how you can send out a link for everybody to fill out. No, it's not going to be pre-filled in for you, bless your heart. No, you'll still have to fill it in. When you send in a generic witness slip like that, because your login is just specific to you, unless you give your friend your login credentials, no, you'll have to fill it out. It won't do the duplicate witness slips anymore. So yeah. Okay, good. There you go. That'll be recorded for you. Or yeah. Yeah, the recordings are big files, I'll give you that. Put this down. Okay, I think my ones that were added to my account based on my email. Yes, if I see what you're saying. Okay. You might have to try that on a friend. I can't imagine it being filled in once it leaves you. You may have to try that with a friend. I think my witness slips were added to my account based on my email. I don't know. I will have to test that out and get back to you on the witness because I am literally signed in right now. Okay, let me see. Do I still have that email open? Yeah, let me just email it to myself and see what happens. And just for giggles, I'm going to log out. I'm just going to pretend I'm just a normal person. I'm going to click on this link and I'm going to see what happens. Okay. When I sent that link, it does go to the generic witness slip. Not logged in, but let me log in. Okay, let me go back to my email. Man, but I'm not going to submit this crazy thing. Okay, because I'm logged in, when I clicked on the link, it does hold my information that I could just do my position, my testimony, and click create witness slip. But I feel if you sent it to a friend, your information would not be there. Okay. Oh, hang on, hang on. Okay, recorded on that. Let's see. When you submit a witness slip, you will get a confirmation email that has been submitted and should show. Now you've got to be signed in for it to show in your account. Like if you weren't logged in and you filled out a witness slip, you would get a confirmation email is what you would get. But if you were not logged in when you submitted a witness slip from our website, if you were not logged in, which I am right now, log out. If I filled in a witness slip, create witness slip. Like if I filled all this information in and then submitted it because I'm not logged in, leave without saving, because I wasn't logged in, it will not show up on my account. But yes, you will get the email, the confirmation email. In the past, groups have done that to facilitate submission. I do know on this new website, duplicate, identical witness slips will not show. If you submit the same witness slip 10 times, it will only show once now on this new website. But if you've changed your information a little bit within that witness slip, like you changed your address, you changed your telephone number, it will show multiple times. Hidden secret. But if you've done the same witness slip over identical, it will not show anymore. I don't know if that answers your question or not. But you can still send out the link to and then that's what I need to show you also. I'm not sure if you guys had because also in my legislation to migrate, there is the migrate option. If you had an account on our previous website, I only had 5 characters in my previous email because we never had any restrictions. If I click migrate, it says, okay, I grabbed all your files and brought them over. Now, when I take you guys to view, all of my files that I had before July 1 are right here. I migrated them over. And because I've been here since this started, if you go back to 2003, 93rd GA, click the paper airplane, our website turns gray. This is to let you know you're no longer in the current website. I'm in 2003. I go to my account, my legislation, because I migrated, all of my reports I created over 20 years ago are here. Everything is still there. And I fought for this because lobbyists, staff, they carry over legislation from one GA to the next, and their legislators want to know what was the verbiage, who is on the bill, what happened to that bill, what was the statute reference. I have to have it also. They asked me, hey, what was that budget bill 3 years ago? Okay, Senate Bill 250 or 251? Which one do you want? But after a while, you start to forget. And so this is how even, just last year's General Assembly, click the paper airplane, 103rd, I'm still gray, but I can still go back to my legislation. I've got my hot bill list. I am a creature of habit. All of my pieces are right here. So when you migrate once, it literally grabs every single report you've had from the past in that one email address. And you can migrate different email addresses if you know the sign on and the passwords. If I go back to 104th, paper airplane, back to my legislation, and then it has that legacy migration notation to let you know this is what came over. So yeah, so that's just the difference. And then down here, I will still have my regular hot bills list first year that I just did with all of you. So it doesn't go away. It just adds to everything. But one thing you do need to know, you have to migrate. My legislation has a migrate, and my witness slips has a migrate. One migrate doesn't cover both areas, just so you know, because I didn't clarify that during a training. So now I just want you to know both areas you would have to migrate. And then I am going to type out my name and information. I think you guys all have it, but where is Word? I think I have it back behind here. Just move this over so that way also you guys might already have all this information. But if you guys think of something after I leave you tonight, you call me, you email me, and just, ask whatever question. We are working on a manual. Please know we are trying to get a manual out there. Um, we are working on it. We are literally still changing screens. So it has been a work in progress. If you get an error or something's not coming up, I need you to please email me and try and remember the steps you did that created that error. Um, but that way you let me know, or if you need help creating a query or a hot bills list until we get our manual out, I can do screenshots of what we did and email it back to you to help you get the results you need from a bill query or maybe something you're looking for that you hadn't thought of yet. Yes, and Elaine's got that too there on the messages. I just wanted to put that up on the screen so you guys could see that. Um, so yeah, so you have all that information. Okay, I'm hoping this helps a little bit to let you know where everything is still on our website. Whether you're on the homepage, the schedules, once you go to schedules, scroll down a little bit, click on your today, the week, the month. Oh, good. Okay, yes, of course. You're very welcome. Um, yeah, no, you're very welcome. I'm glad this worked out for all of you tonight. Seriously, this was good. Um, but yeah, you just start with details or you go to your committees or get yourself an account. And that way you register, we'll send you the code, type in the code, and then get your information filled out down here. So that way, when you fill out your witness slips, it's a lot easier to do after you're signed into your account. Once you're signed into your account, if you put in a witness slip, it will save back to your account. And that's where if you need to change it before the committee, during the committee, you can. If you're not logged in when you submit a slip, you'll have to submit another one if your opinion changes from the time you had it compared to the time, you don't. So yeah. Okay, well, okay, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, or do you guys have any other questions? Are you okay? You're okay. Okay, well, I will stop sharing this so that way if anybody else needs to do anything, they can. And
Thanks so much, Emily. Yeah,
you're welcome.
it's a lot of information.
It's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's putting it mildly. Yes. Yes. But
Yep.
yes. So you guys email me if you need anything at all, ever. I will get back to you. Even if I just email you to say I will get back to you as soon as possible, just because the session coming up, it gets a little crazy, which you all already know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much. I don't know.